Ring Out Podcast. I go by the name of Papa Jr. Appreciate you clicking on the video, y'all. 10 WWE wrestlers who were punished for real life drama, man. It happens, bro. That means a lot of egos, man. There's a lot of egos in one room, in one location. You know, it's bound to happen. We hear a lot of stories left and right. This person doesn't get along with that person. Oh, they had a fight in the parking lot, you know, shit like that. You know, and if you let that bleed into the show and your boss is seeing that, yeah, you're gonna get punished. You're gonna get in trouble. So these are 10 wrestlers, 10 WWE wrestlers who were punished. And we're starting first off. He did timestamps here, and Sabu is the first person. Without further ado, I'm gonna say this every video. Watch along. I'm here. SmackDown every Friday, 4th of July. I don't know. Let's see. That's the start of a 2 hours, hopefully. Let's get it for SmackDown. PLEs, I'm here. Every watch along. Night of Champions, join your boy. All in AEW Wrestling. I'll be here for that pay-per-view as well. Join your boy. I'll be here for the Saturday night's main event. Afterwards, it's a long-ass freaking night right there. That's a long-ass day. It was like July the 12th. And I'm here for Evolution too. Join your boy. Watch along. Kick back and relax. We could, talk the ish. Talk about wrestling. Talk about any questions y'all want to ask me. I'm here for it, And enjoy what we're watching at the same time, man. Nice cold beverage. Some beautiful thing. Join your boy, man. Subscribe and all that good stuff. Anything else? Nah, man. Let's get it.
Get rid of him.
Vince McMahon seemingly had high expectations for Sabu when he was brought into work the revived ECW brand in 2006.
Oh my God, no, don't do this! Sabu on the top rope! No!
He was initially pushed quite strongly, being positioned in important matches on TV and pay-per-view.
Look out!
The problem was the company kept trying to change him.
I'll be a typical babyface, and that's exactly what I'm not, and that's what I was.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the first time I have ever heard him speak. First time I have ever heard him speak ever. I'm not one of those people that look for people's interviews. I know he has interviews before, even before he passed away, rest in peace. But I've never heard him speak before, ever.
Brought up not to be. If I become typical, maybe I could make more money, but I wouldn't be proud of myself.
They wanted him to plan out matches and cut scripted promos with unnatural
Not even in
dialogue.
promos ever.
And tonight, the big show is going down. I'll sacrifice anything tonight.
Even promos, I never heard him cut a promo, bro. All I see is clips and videos of his matches. That's all I've seen my whole life, honestly.
To win the ladder match.
Sabu barely even spoke in the original ECW, so he requested a manager to talk for him in WWE.
I see
but the
why.
High refused. It was about to get worse for Sabu, who became more unhappy with his role in the company as time went on. He spoke about these struggles during interviews with Title Match Wrestling and kayfabe commentaries.
Sabu the man gave me this script. It was like 3 pages long of words. I can't even pronounce, let alone say them and act like they're my words. So what I did was, I act like I was reading the script. I tore it up, threw it down. I said, there's your promo. And I walk away.
Stephanie McMahon was unwilling to compromise, and because of Sabu's refusal to follow the script, she made the call to take him out of the Elimination Chamber match at the disgracefully bad December to Dismember pay-per-view. This upset fans. Meanwhile, Sabu was punished by being made to do jobs until he was released 6 months later, after being chewed out by head of talent relations John Laurinaitis over the phone for being late to a show.
I show up way late, and then he goes, Terry, you're doing this and you're doing that. And I go, I don't think so. He goes, why not? I said, my neck hurts. I'm not doing nothing. He goes, you worked with pain before? I said, not anymore, I don't. They end up firing me after that.
Crime Time are one of WWE's better.
Yeah, man. Like, if they see you, like, listen, they don't care. The corporate, greedy mofos, they don't care, bro. Seriously. They don't care. They seen you take bumps in ECW while you were in pain and all that. They're going to assume, oh, you could still keep going, right? Now, I need you to do this and do that. Now he's finally putting his foot down, talking about, I'm not doing this. I'm hurt. Well, you're fired then. Like, it's fucked up. But at the same time, you also told them that you weren't gonna do this, you weren't gonna do that. Like with the script with Stephanie McMahon, I get it, but at this that it ain't you. But at the same time, you're working under them. You know, you gotta follow. Look what Punk is doing. He don't want to go to Saudi Arabia to face Cena, but he's going to. Because I bet TKO told him to. Like Cena said, you're Mr. TKO. Because you're a millionaire. Now you're going to Saudi Arabia, make more money. And you'll do what we tell you to do.
Tag teams in 2006 and 2007 as they regularly
Yo, Papa Rolly. Wait, Papa 40 and check your Rolly. It's crime time. Brooklyn. I loved these guys when I was young, bro.
entertain fans.
And the skits that they put on, bro, those were fun to watch, man.
Connect with the crowd, the energy, the emotion.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Money. About money.
Yeah.
That's right, King.
Congratulations. All right, man.
Crime
However, it all
Time
came
was
crashing
awesome.
down
I
when they were
loved them.
unceremoniously fired in the fall of 07 following an incident which stemmed from the heat they had with the forgettable team of Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch.
Lance was a total dick. He wanted to be this really kind of a bully to other guys, but I'm not really somebody that, can be bullied very easily.
They're the two phoniest guys in the locker room, because if I ever went into the hood, I want Trevor Murdoch next to me, not you two fools. But we just did not mesh well.
Things came to a head during a house show match when a referee went off script and fast counted Crime Time out to give Cade and Murdoch the win by countout. JTG told the story in an interview with Rip Rogers.
And Lance and Chad, they got into it backstage, and then I just remember Lance walking up saying, "We'll see what's in the ring, like we'll see," like something like that. I'm like, ugh. In the ring, I believe they got the ref in on it, but tonight I knew I rolled in at 8, and then when I rolled in at 8, the ref said 9-10.
After the crowd chanted BS at the finish, Shad and JTG then called an audible and hit their finisher on the ref afterwards. This ultimately got the team a lot of heat backstage.
And then that made Shad pissed, and Shad took it on the ref. I joined in on it, and then after that, we got ridiculed by John Cena in front of the locker room, and then on the ride to...
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna keep it to myself.
The next show, the Raw, we got a good tongue.
If you know, you know.
And then the next day, we were fired.
Crime Time returned less than 6 months later.
Like, what does this reek of, bro? Like, fucking A, bro.
On the night after WrestleMania
Shout out
24,
to Crime
they would
Time,
go on
man.
to have a memorable second run with the company, lasting until 2010. Cade and Murdoch, on the other hand, were broken up in the summer of 2008 and were both released before the end of the year. Bubba Ray Dudley received one singles push during his WWE career, though it was pretty much over as soon as it began, lasting just 3 weeks after a specific incident sent him back down the card. To set the scene, Bubba had split from Devon in the draft. Then, after tagging with Spike for a few months, Bubba entered a program with the world champion Triple H.
And I'm tired of seeing him. This is not the Triple H show.
That's how it felt every Monday night. This was the Triple H show, and SmackDown was the better show. Yeah.
But I guarantee you, your ass is going through that table.
On the September 23rd, 2002 Monday Night Raw, Bubba was to put Hunter through a table. However, Dudley completely missed as his arm appeared to go limp as he hoisted the game up. This meant Helmsley landed very awkwardly.
Oh my gosh.
Bubba had a pinched nerve in his neck, which affected his arm, though he continued wrestling. Bubba's push ended 7 days later, when he was defeated by Triple H in a match for the world title. Bubba believes him hurting Helmsley was the reason, as perhaps the game didn't want to work with him one-on-one again after this. Bubba then went back to teaming with Spike before reuniting with Devon in November. He wouldn't find any single success until becoming Bully Ray in TNA 8 years later. Shortly after Bubba got his push in 2002, Tess was given a win streak on Raw whilst managed by Stacy Keibler, his real-life girlfriend at the time.
I'm a testicle. Rub me the right way.
Yeah, you can't wear that nowadays.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
You can't
Test was also given a new look,
see
first by
this
switching to
nowadays.
trunks, and then by having his hair cut.
It's time to cut your hair. Go for it, Jan.
Fans speculated this was because he looked too similar to Triple H in long hair and trunks. Test was programmed in a feud with Chris Jericho, and the two Canadians were set to wrestle at No Way Out 2003 in Montreal. However, the week prior, Test and Stacy failed to show up for Raw in Columbus, Ohio. Due to a snowstorm, they couldn't make it in time due to no flights being available, and this didn't go down well with Vince McMahon.
There's nothing we could do. The airports were closed. I phoned every rental car place that would not rent to me because it was illegal to be on the road. I offered a limo driver $10,000 to drive me 6 hours to Columbus. He said he couldn't do it because he was afraid of losing his license and his business.
Test wasn't mentioned on the episode of Raw in question and was replaced at No Way Out by Jeff Hardy. The night after the pay-per-view, Stacy was put in a stiff Walls of Jericho, perhaps as a punishment.
Vince saw Stacy before he saw.
He don't give a fuck, bro. That's what he loves, is that power. He got the money, but the power of it just controlling people's lives, bro. He said it himself, bro. What the hell was the couple supposed to do at that time? Snowstorm, airports closed, no car will be rented. Even offer $10K to a limo driver. He said, nah, I'm not putting my job on the line. Still gets punished. You should have walked to Columbus from D.C. I don't think they'll make it either on time, and they still will get in trouble.
Saw me, hugged her, said he could forgive her because she was a female, but couldn't forgive me because I had shit on.
And that's a punishment right there. Him forcing himself onto her.
In the business.
This spelled the end of Test's singles push. He went on to lose some matches and then was taken off Raw for a few weeks, before being paired in a tag team with Scott Steiner, someone who had recently lost his push due to bad performance since he was working hurt. Test was later fired from WWE in 2004, whilst recovering from a serious neck injury. The character Mordecai
R.I.P. Test, man.
had a very brief run on SmackDown in 2004, where he was pushed as the anti-Undertaker.
I remember this guy. To me, this was trash. Even as a kid.
A cheater. A thief. He will suffer.
I was on track to
Even as a kid, I was like, what the fuck is this shit, bro?
wrestle The Undertaker in WrestleMania.
Though plans for potential feuds with Eddie Guerrero and Taker were thrown out of the window after the man behind the gimmick, Kevin Fertig, got into an incident with a patron at a bar. A man had tried to hit on Fertig's wife, but got angry when she declined, and then wanted a fight.
Someone was about to hit me and my wife with a bottle. I intervened, I guess you could say. And I look, and he starts walking towards me. I'm like, oh, no. And I just went, man.
Mordecai was taken off television following the altercation, and the WWE later settled with the bar patron.
But then it started getting really thick on lawsuit and everything else, and it was just time to go away.
Though Kevin was forced to pay much of the settlement fee, which was a hefty amount since the bar patron also required facial reconstructive surgery following the headbutt. Following the lawsuit, Fertig was let go in 2005.
The end is near.
He eventually returned to WWE as Kevin Thorne, receiving a small push on the ECW brand in 06, though he never moved up to Raw or SmackDown and was released in 2008. Eugene got quite a push during his first year in
2008?
WWE.
Hold on, if I remember this and I took a hiatus, then I probably stopped watching around 08 then. Because I kept saying that I stopped watching like in 07. But I remember Mordecai and Kevin Thorne. So it was probably around that time I stopped watching, 08 then.
Including two big showings at back-to-back SummerSlams, wrestling singles matches against Triple H and Kurt Angle.
He's confused. He doesn't understand.
Oh, gosh.
Kick that one. Oh, Eugene's got the chair. Oh, man. My God, what a shot. Eugene has hit Triple H right between the eyes.
However, an incident in late 2005 spelled the end of his push, as Eugene wouldn't be featured in a major program again for the rest of his time with the company. During a European tour, Eugene was found passed out in a hotel lobby and promptly taken to hospital. He was then suspended and placed in rehab since this wasn't a good look for the company, only a week removed from Eddie Guerrero's passing.
My knee surgery, and I probably came back too soon. I had patella repair, which normally guys take about 9 or 10 months to come back. I came back in 6 months. And then I was taking a lot of medication to try to, push myself through the pain. One fateful night in England, I took a little bit too many of this and too many of that and had a couple beers, and passed out in the lobby of a hotel in underwear with all the fans and Triple H.
Upon returning, Eugene was mostly used as an enhancement
you
talent
mixing
until
pills
eventually
with
being released
alcohol?
in 2007 after violating the wellness policy.
And I feel like if the doctor said you could do it, and the WWE doctor said, here, yeah, you could take those, and then I ended up getting popped on a drug test and got released.
There have been numerous wrestlers who have started to get over organically with the fans, only for WWE to put a stop to things because the talent in question wasn't in their plans, and they had no intention of pushing them. This was less common back in the day, since the company would either listen to the people or quickly halt something just as the reactions began to build, the latter of which happened to Rene Dupree in 2004. Rene had been working on SmackDown where he was pushed as a heel against John Cena. Following the end of their feud, Dupree was starting to get some positive reactions, thanks to his French tickler dance, which the audience were beginning to like.
Tickler.
Rene received a notable pop during the SummerSlam 2004 pre-show match when he whipped out the dance.
The French tickler. There it is. I'm a French man. I'm a French tickler. I'm a French guy. I love it. I love the dance.
When Dupree got backstage, he was met with anger from agents Michael Hayes and John Laurinaitis, who were upset that Rene was getting cheered as a heel. Dupree explained the situation on his Cafe de Rene podcast.
Michael Hayes said, right, we don't want you to do that dance anymore. It's stupid. I go, well, it's getting over. He goes, yeah, that's the point. You're supposed to be heel. Maybe this is a sign I should turn babyface. No, we don't want you to get over. And then we're having meetings with Vince McMahon where he says, guys, just get over. Just get yourself over. You got the guy who signs your paychecks who's telling you in the meeting to get over. Then you got his, I guess, right-hand man in command telling you don't want you to get over.
This was the end of Rene's initial singles run on SmackDown. The office's response to Dupree getting cheers was to put him in a bizarre foreign heel team with Kenzo Suzuki, and while they did win the tag titles, Rene lost much of the momentum he had going for him earlier in the year. Enzo Amore was punished by being given a losing streak on NXT for a rather unique reason.
Scott Dawson seizing the moment. Dawson for the victory. To his feet. Oh,
that was this dude as a single? Scott Dawson? Isn't Dax?
Wow.
Dax?
This is the accolade. And Enzo taps.
Enzo farted during an NXT promo class, which infuriated head of creative Dusty Rhodes. Dusty was so mad that the punishment was initially more severe.
I farted in a Dusty Rhodes promo class, to which Dusty Rhodes kicked me out of it, got me fired that night, called up Triple H in the morning and got me rehired. Then I got fined for farting. I got taken off shows, and I think me and Big Cass went on a losing streak for a while in NXT.
Enzo eventually shook off the...
Bro, respect where you at, bro. Respect others, bro. You trying to be a clown. You want to be fucking passing gas in front of people, bro. That's gross, man. Come on.
The heat in NXT, where he and Cass became one of the brand's most popular and best tag teams, allowing them to ultimately move up to the main roster. Next, we have a gimmick so bad.
They were great together, man. I loved Enzo Amore and Big Cass, man. They were freaking great together, man. Them being separated was a sin, bro. I don't care what anybody says, bro.
Getting taken off TV.
And maybe Big Cass didn't want to be a tag team. Because Big Cass, he deserves better. What is he doing right now? Big Bill. You know, and Real One. What are y'all doing right now? I think he's an MLW. I mean, bring them back together, bro. Tag team needs it, man. Y'all were great together, charismatic. Yeah, man.
TV was the best thing for him. Husky Harris was a character from a terrible period of WWE TV in 2010, who was so far removed from the real-life person, Wyndham Rotunda, in a way that wasn't authentic.
Night and day, bro.
I think Husky Harris has a great look. He's interesting, he's intriguing, but he's fat.
Has a great look, but he's fat.
Do you believe in love at first sight? Or should I...
Hearing his voice, you could tell he is one of them. He just got to work on his shit even more. And he became Bray Wyatt. I never knew about Husky Harris. I didn't watch NXT at this time. I started watching NXT when Bo Dallas was NXT champion. And then Neville and all those guys. You know? But I never seen Husky Harris. But you could just pay attention to every little detail. He may not look the part. But yo, he got the voice, and he sound like he could fucking speak on the mic, you know.
Walk by again, huh?
After a forgettable run in the game show version of NXT,
Sounds
Husky
confident
was
when
put in the
he
second version of
speaks.
Nexus. But again, this just wasn't a good fit. There was a specific incident that got him heat, which spelled the end of Husky's main roster run, that took place during a match featuring John Cena. This was revealed by Baron Corbin during an interview with Chris Van Vliet.
Husky poked John Cena in the eye in a match. Vince was so mad, Cena was so mad that they sent Husky Harris back to NXT.
And that's a serpent smile.
Bro, that did him good.
And I see this character, Husky Harris. I just see a sad little boy. It was someone that was forced to be something that he didn't want to be, and how he was handled. It was just a terrible, terrible time, a dark period in my life, his life. It wasn't who I am. It's not who I am today. And when I look back at it, it's just I'm just disappointed in Husky Harris, right? Because it wasn't real, man. It was a figment of someone else's imagination.
Harris would eventually return to the main shows 2.5.
You could tell, bro. Like I said, in his voice, you could tell he got it. And people just play shit that is not them. You feel me? Like, this is what you're gonna be. Work on it. I'm like, bro, what if they can't be themselves and play as a character, as themselves, you know? Not show too much of themselves, but, you know, be themselves, man. Like, no, you gotta be this character. I'm like, it's not working, y'all. Can I still show you what can I do on my own? No, we'll tell you what to do. All right? You're fired.
Years later, as the critically acclaimed Bray Wyatt. After 2 solid years in WWE, Mr. Kennedy was set to be revealed as Vince McMahon's illegitimate son in the fall of 2007. That was until Ken was suspended for violating WWE's newly revised wellness policy, a change prompted by the Benoit family tragedy earlier that summer.
You're going to be Vince's son. There's going to be a big, long run with it. Got all these things planned. And I got a call from the office. They said, yeah, Vince needs to see you in the office. We instituted the wellness policy on such and such a date, and it says here that you received shipments of this, this, and this after the date. I went and saw a doctor, and the doctor just prescribed me testosterone. He said I had low testosterone. They had to do something about it because Congress was coming down on them so much because of the Benoit thing.
WWE explained Kennedy's sudden absence by having Vince suspend him for pretending to be a McMahon.
I told you before, Kennedy may be from Green Bay, but he's been suspended for impersonating a McMahon.
Kennedy's momentum was completely derailed. Then an injury sidelined him for most of 2008. When he came back in 2009, he was let go after his return match for botching a backdrop that hurt Randy Orton.
You don't want to get overconfident because something like that could happen. A back suplex.
Orton and John Cena were said to be livid backstage, and Kennedy was released later that same week. Ken's WWE career was essentially on life support anyway, given all the heat he had from the year prior. Kennedy had previously been blamed for injuring Cena in 2007. Before that, Ken's comments on Fox News following the Benoit tragedy also rubbed many the wrong way.
If he was using steroids, he obviously wasn't, he had passed the drug test, so maybe he injected steroids the day before he died. I don't think the toxicology reports are actually going to prove anything.
Which was especially damaging in hindsight, as he was suspended not long after for a wellness policy violation.
I should have never opened my mouth about the Chris Benoit thing. There was misstep after misstep after misstep on my part. And I think when those guys went to Vince, he was just like, you know what, I'm tired of hearing his name in a negative light, get rid of him.
Kennedy had generated a significant amount of heat backstage, and ultimately it caught up with him. Whether Kennedy's downfall was due to bad timing, internal politics, or his own missteps, fans are still left wondering what might have been if either of his big opportunities had actually panned out. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out a similar video on 10 WWE wrestlers who went off script and got...
I believe I saw this. Yeah, I did a video on this one, the one that he just posted right here on your screen. Go check that out. Go check that out. Y'all should know me by now. I be having brain farts all the fucking time. When you hear a pause, that means I forgot what the hell I was gonna say. But yo, if you made it this far into the video, bro, I appreciate it, man, brothers and sisters. Appreciate you so much. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. I'ma keep saying this every freaking video now, from now on. Watch along. I'm here. Join your boy. Fridays, SmackDown, PLEs, WWE PLEs. I'm here. Join your boy. All Elite Wrestling, all in. I'm here. Join your boy. I don't say AEW pay-per-views. I said all in. I'll be here. Check with your boy, man. Come chill with your boy. Evolution 2, I'll be here as well. I don't do Sundays, but for the ladies, I'll do it for them. Join your boy, man. Watch along. Papo Jr. up in here. This is the Ring Out Podcast. Appreciate you made it this far. Subscribe, hit the like button, all that good stuff. And until next time.
Goodbye. Mwah, and good night, bang.
Peace.